Today we got a 05 F-150 with the 5.4, and we are going to be doing brakes all around. So I'm gonna start by pulling off the wheels, of course. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing the rotor as well. So first I'm gonna pull off these two 13mm caliper bolts, one here, one on the bottom. So we're gonna start by that, and then we're gonna pull off these 18mm to get the caliper bracket off, and then after that the rotor should slide out. I had to get the top one with the wrench just because the brake line was in the way of my socket, so you might have to use a wrench for the top bolt. You're going to want to disconnect the sensor wire from this little clip right here, and then also pull it out from the bracket just like so, just so you're not going to be hitting your speed sensor wire. So now we're just gonna take this and then set it up here. Okay, so once you get the caliper pulled off, you're just gonna wanna kind of remember how this goes. But now we're gonna have to pull off the brake pads, followed by the caliper bracket. And that's just these two 18mm right here. So I'll pull off those next. Okay, so I personally ran into an issue. I'm not going to be doing the rotors. This is what the customer brought me. He also brought me a whole bunch of other parts. So he brought me rotors, and as you can see, those are 5-lug, and we have a 6-lug truck. So he just told me just run the old rotors. I mean, they're not bad. It's not like there was really anything wrong with them. There's no scratch marks or grinding. So these rotors are fine. So he just said run the old ones. So I will not be changing the rotor out. But if you are, this does not just come out. I believe you're gonna have to pull this off, and then it looks like it comes out because this is all one assembly. So yeah, I will not be doing the rotors, just the front brakes. So for now, I'll be getting back just to the front brakes. Okay, so I went ahead and put the caliper bracket back on. So we're gonna start by pulling off the old hardware, and then also we're gonna go ahead and grease the sliders. So if you have new slider boots, then you can just go ahead and pull the whole boot off, but if not, just get a flathead and put it in between the boot and the slider, and then you're just gonna pull it off nice and easy. And go ahead and get you some caliper grease, and you're gonna grease these up. This is what I use. It's just brake and caliper grease, but yeah, I've had this forever, and as you can tell, just done a lot of brake jobs. Now, you don't gotta put too much. I just like to kind of butter a nice little layer around it, and once you get this ready, all you're gonna do is just line it up, push it back in, and then push it back on the boot, and it should just pop right back in like that. And now your sliders are going to be nice and greased up, working good again, and also not squeaking. A lot of people don't know that, but these, if they're not greased, they will actually cause your brakes to squeak. I've had some people come in the shop and they'll be like, I just got my brakes replaced, but my brakes are still squeaking, and it always turns out to be the sliders most of the time. Next step is you're going to want to compress your caliper. I have this little brake compressor tool, but yeah, after we get that compressed, I already have my new hardware already on, but we're going to go ahead and give it a good spray with brake cleaner, and then yeah, we will be ready for the new brakes. Okay, so I got my caliper fully compressed. I'm going to give it a good spray down with some brake cleaner, but first I just wanted to see how this is going to go together, and it's actually pretty simple. So once you get like your V-clip, is what we're going to call it, it is actually pretty easy to get put on, because in the new hardware there's actually little tabs that prevent the brake pads from just coming out. So the bottom gets a clip as well, and it's going to go up just like this, and then your caliper will be ready to go back on. Okay, so this is kind of what you should look like. I had a couple fling out, but that's all right. But this is what you should be looking like. Now the caliper is ready to go back on. Now, what I forgot to mention was you should lightly grease the inside or the outside of the brake pad, definitely not the inside, which I already did. I just apply a little in the middle and then right here at the end. So I just do 3 spots. I don't cover the whole thing, but just use a little bit. Now that is how you do front brakes on your 05 F-150. Now here's a video of me speed running the other side. Okay, so there you have it. That's how you do front brakes on a 05 F-150. It's pretty simple, but that is how it is done. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.